In the world of evolving AI and technology, we are constantly looking for ways to improve our workflows, how to improve our lives, how to make the jobs that we do a lot easier. My name is Jason, and I'm a teacher in Espehakamang Village, and today I'd like to do a quick assessment video on different AI platforms out there and how they can help teachers with the lesson plan workflow. Let's go and check it out. So today I want to compare 4 different AI platforms. The reason why we started this is because we are using Atlas, and we found out that the Atlas platform, a platform used for unit planning and for lesson planning as well, has created an AI. And this led me to thinking, is this AI service worth it? Because it is a paid service, so we want to check it out. And I wanted to take a look at the other AI platforms out there as well to see how well they can integrate with the teacher workflow and how they can help improve it. So in this video, let's start off with Atlas AI. The Atlas AI is browser-based, and so I generally have it on my browser. I usually have it bookmarked, and here you can see that I'm opening the Atlas AI. And so in it, I have already inserted a few unit plans. What I do really like from it is that it allows me to just see what unit I'm currently on and to just simply be able to access that unit in a few clicks. And as you can see here, I've already created a list of the different components of my unit. In these components at the bottom and the learning plan section, this is where I incorporate the weekly plans that I have along with different assignments. Now today we do want to see how the lesson plan function works, and I don't really use this, to be honest. I have my own personal set of lesson plans that I find easily accessible, but you could see that if it is built into the Atlas, it's a lot easier to access. And here you can see that I'm trying to create a new one. So I start off by just trying to create a 3-day plan, and the whole goal here is to see how I could create a lesson where students need to create some kind of 2D design. And so I'm the lesson editor there, the date's already in, and I just click save. And now it opens this page up. Now, I always have to put in these standards if I want to use this function. And of course, this is a general good practice as well to ensure that teachers are hitting all the standards that they need to hit. Now, usually I go to the manage lesson plan templates, but in this case, I'm going to click on this magic wand, and it allows me to open up its AI function. Now, currently, Atlas is generous enough to give us a trial version of this. And so in this section, I could type in additional information. It already includes the standards, but I'm going to add in the additional information as well. And so I want to give it, I want to make this project span over the number of days that I mentioned, which I believe is 3 days. And so in this case, I do want students to create a project by the end of this assignment. And the thing is, with this AI function, with this Atlas AI, I try to give it as little prompts as possible, primarily because everything was already written in the unit plans. And I'd like to think that the lesson plans here that it generates would incorporate both the information I put in the unit plans and any other additional information that I put in here. As you can see, once I click the generate with AI, it does take a little bit of time. However, it is important to note that all the time that it takes here, even if a platform is slower than another platform, it's really off by only up to about 10 to 20 seconds, which really is already a huge save on time for teachers, especially considering the fact that we used to have to write lesson plans from scratch, and it could take up to anywhere from 20 minutes to about an hour to create a good, robust lesson plan, especially one that spans over a few days. So as you can see, it's still generating, but once it is complete, it gives me the whole thing. And here, when I take a quick look at it, I could see that it includes the standards, the assignments that I needed to do, along with a lesson overview, which is a good brief summary of what I need to cover. Now with the click of a button, I could just insert this into the lesson plan template here, and it gives me something over the span of 7 days. Now, I didn't specify it in this lesson plan, but because I've already given the time frame of the lessons, I kind of expected it to do it automatically, but here, I guess it believes that I need 7 days. So what I'm doing here is I'm just changing the time frame to the 7 days just to make it cohesive. Technically it's 5 school days, but that's what I did there. So nothing too significant there. All right, so then to compare it with another model, I decided to go over a free version. Now, the thing with these free versions, though, I'm going to check out Bard from Google, Bing Copilot from Microsoft, and also MagicSchool.AI, which is a platform that our school has been using quite a bit recently. And so before starting this, I decided that I needed to create some kind of template. And so here I have a template where I list out the lesson plan requirements. And so in it, I insert the standards, but I also include the number of days that I would like this lesson to take place in, and also kind of the end goal objective and what I would like to see in each day's lesson plan. And I even try to add a request for timestamps, just because I need to know, like, is this component of the lesson going to take 5 minutes or 10 minutes or 30 minutes? And I want the AI to also take that into consideration when they're making the 3-day plan. And so I specify that it is also for middle school students, just to add a little bit of information. But you can see here that the information I'm adding is not quite that much. I think it is still very simple, and I'm giving the basic guidelines of what I expect to see. So now I jump into the Bard website, and I just simply copy and paste that prompt into this, and let's see what it generates and how long it takes. So as you can see here, it's thinking, it's figuring out what to generate, and now you could see that it includes the materials that I need, some scaffolding as well, and then here's what I wanted to see earlier, but now I could see what day 1 has, or with a lot more detail. So not just day 1 and then a couple of short points, but it actually tells me here are the activities. It gives me the time frames as well. Bard doesn't quite complete this, but have no fear. I've discovered that anytime AI doesn't quite include everything you need, then you could simply just add the word continue, and you add that as a command, and it will do so. So you can see that just by clicking continue, I don't need to reinsert the prompt. I don't need to tell it that it's the 3rd day, but it starts generating what that 3rd day is. And now you can see it throws in the additional parts of the intro, the lesson body, and the final closure as well. What I also like is with this prompt, I did include potential accommodations, and I like that it does give those accommodations. It gives quite a bit as well. It gives up to about anywhere from 3 to 5 accommodations, which I think is great because it covers the amount of support that we potentially can give students in a given class. So now I jump over to Bing and Copilot. It was one of the first ones that I really enjoyed using. I think they created a pretty good model using GPT-4, but also having some flexibility and kind of some like a personalized touch, I guess. It just felt more interactive and real. I don't know if there's a better way to describe that. But here I do throw in the same template, and what I noticed right away is that with this template, it just took a while. Now I don't know if this is just something that happened to occur for this, like if it was a specific occurrence. I almost stopped the response, but then it ended up kind of following through. And the nice thing about Copilot is that it allowed me to just automatically see all the days. And so I didn't have to press continue. It gave me the full 3 days of the lessons. And here you can see that it even is still generating. So it just took a while to show what it was generating, but it continues on, and it includes this similar information to what Bard had. It has less potential accommodations, but that's something that I could specify even more clearly next time if that's something that is truly relevant for me. And so then now we jump into the final piece. This is one that kind of sparked my interest of using AI for teaching. A few colleagues brought this up after they saw it on some social media platforms, but MagicSchool.AI is one of the teacher-based AIs or teacher-focused AIs that exists. And as you can see, just by opening the page, I already have a bunch of tools that I could use. I've actually done some workshops on using the unit plan and the lesson planning functions, but this time I'm just jumping straight into the chatbot because I already know what my prompt is and I'm just putting it in there. The nice thing with the lesson plan and unit plans are that they include these more prompts through drop-down lists. So things that you don't really know you need to insert or you need to tell the AI, it includes for you so that you could just automatically put that in. But as you can see, it generates a very similar prompt as well to the other two. So where does this leave us? Well, I find that first of all, it's important to acknowledge that AI is a tool that can really save teachers' times. I just used 4 different platforms, and under the span of 20 minutes, not even 10 minutes maybe, I was able to generate all these different lesson plans, and albeit they're for the same lesson, but if I just tweaked some of the prompts around, I could use the same general template and just change the standards and change my objectives, and then I should be able to see I should be able to see lesson plans in the same amount of time. Now, so where does this leave us with which platform to use? I would say Bard, Bing, and MagicSchool.AI, because they're free and they produce generally the same things. I would clump them as one category. And I find that what they produce is already fairly useful. Of course, teachers still need to go back and tweak the materials, but that's checking back is not as difficult as it is to have to come up with your own unit and lesson plans. As for atlasai, where does this leave us? Well, it is a paid platform, and this would be an additional paid subscription. And I have to say, at this point, there's only one thing that it excels at, and it is the fact that teachers don't have to jump through multiple platforms. However, because the lesson planning function is already its own window, aside from the unit planning window, teachers would have to jump back and forth anyways. And the amount of clicks it is to go from one tab versus one window is kind of the same. So I would say it doesn't quite stand out there. So what would make atlasai more worth it? Well, I find that there are a few things, and I hope that Atlas can kind of incorporate this into what they have and what they provide. I think the first one is just even an automatic incorporation of the components that we've already inserted into the unit plans. So if I already worked hard to put the different essential questions and the enduring understandings along with knowledge and skills that I want students to know, it would be nice to see those reflected into the unit plans. And instead though, it just gave me this short, for the first few days, it just gives me short descriptions on what I can do. So that would be one downfall, but if they could change that, I think that would really make this a lot more appealing to teachers. I think another thing is on the same note as having that platform and jumping around, I wish they had an app for tablet and phone users. I don't like that I have to go onto the browser. It just doesn't make it feel special. It makes it just another one of those websites, and in that case it doesn't really stand out compared to Bard or Bing. And I think that if they could generate a button that doesn't require us to switch to lesson plan view, so in other words, we could just generate lesson plans and it will create it from the unit plan page, I think that would be great. It is nice that we can see lessons side by side with the unit, but again, it's just an extra click, and for something that I would have to generate or do, it just doesn't make it stand out compared to the other AI. So I'm not saying that the clicks are just too much, but what I'm saying is if I have to click to go to a different tab and to look at, in order to create a lesson plan, then why would I have to do it when I'm in the platform? It would be so much easier if I could just say generate lesson plans. I give it the span of days, which the unit plan actually already includes. So then if it could just incorporate all that, if it could somehow turn all the information I put in the unit plans into one command that I could just generate from, then that would make my life easier. And again, it would just make the workflow a lot smoother and make this more marketable. Now, the final one here is something that would be awesome to see, and I think it's an opportunity for atlasai to stand out, and that is creating resource banks. So in other words, worksheets from other teachers or other projects, prompts, the discussion questions. Teachers already create a lot of these materials, and in the past I have seen a lot of different organizations pooling these resources together. Now, I don't know what it fully takes on the maybe legal side or on the development side on how to make this happen, but ideally I think if we could have something like that, that would be great, built into AI, Atlas AI. They already have unit plans that are accessible in public from other schools, and I love just browsing through what other teachers have created in the past and seeing how that could be applied into my own lessons. But if we could have those attachments or those resources as something open, or maybe work together with teachers, find a collaborative way to get teachers to contribute into this resource bank, and then have the AI pull from it, I think that would be great as well. That way I could have the day-to-day lessons along with the different resources. So that, I think, would make it go over the top, and it would make it into one of something that teachers can just use. So with that, that is my quick overview on these lesson planning tools and lesson planning or unit planning using AI. I hope you find the review helpful, and for teachers out there, I hope that you continue to just fight the good fight and continue to find ways to really support our students. And I hope that with AI, it frees up a lot of time for us to connect with students. It frees us with time to do the things that we like in teaching, and not have to spend so much time on things that we might find a little bit more tedious or just very time consuming and energy draining. And so with that, thank you for watching this video, and see you next time.